All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, there were a slew of upsets last Saturday in college football, and as a result of this, the Sun Belt Conference can stick out their chest in pride. We saw Appalachian State upset then number 6 Texas A&M in College Station. Marshall upset then number 8 Notre Dame in South Bend, and Georgia Southern went to Lincoln and defeated Nebraska. Now, A&M and Notre Dame paid a combined 2.75 million to lose those games on Saturday, and then the Georgia Southern win was the final straw for Scott Frost at Nebraska, who was fired the following morning. Also, let's not forget Old Dominion beat Virginia Tech in week number one. Also, in week number one, Georgia State made North Carolina really have to sweat it out, for them to escape with a victory themselves. So the little guys, they're never going to consistently get a spot at the big table in college football. So for me, this is their equivalent to March Madness. And I say that because, of course, yeah, we're going to see the college football playoff expanded in a couple of years to 12 teams. But how many of the group of fives do you really expect to be there consistently? You're going to see more SEC teams in there, more Big Ten teams in there. And then, the other conference champions from the Power Five conferences, they want to have their spot at the table as well. So this is a chance for these guys to shine. And the Sun Belt Conference is full of coaches that are looking to make a name for themselves on the college football scene, while there are players on these teams that, for the most part, they were overlooked coming out of high school by the bigger programs. Maybe they were a little slower in their 40 as opposed to running a 4.4. They might have run a 4.65 or a 4.7. Maybe they didn't like grade out with the intangibles as far as height, size, you name it. But nonetheless, these kids have heart, they have determination. Those are things that you can't measure. And on top of that, they can go out there and they're skilled and they can play. And looking at these teams and looking at these programs, since joining the Sun Belt in 2014, Appalachian State has won 81 games, and their last two full-time head coaches in Scott Satterfield and Eli Drinkwitz are now coaching at Power Five schools. Scott Satterfield at Louisville and Eli Drinkwitz at Missouri. Now, we also saw App State almost beat North Carolina, and you're seeing that, and obviously with Appalachian State going on to knock off Texas A&M, you could clearly see that that was not a fluke. Now, Marshall is a new member of the Sun Belt after they left Conference USA. Marshall had success in the MAC. They also had success sending some players to the NFL during that tenure as well. Most notably, Randy Moss, Chad Pennington, and Byron Leftwich while they were in the MAC. But you know what? This is a quality program. And, you look at Georgia Southern, things didn't work out for their head coach, Clay Helton at UCLA, because he was on the hot seat from the word go there. But honestly, I think he can do something at Georgia Southern. There's not the same amount of pressure there as it was at USC. And we saw that, this past Saturday when Georgia Southern went on the road and knocked off Nebraska. He was coaching calm, cool, and collected, and his team played. And most importantly, they won that game. Now you have some quality teams in this conference, like Coastal Carolina, the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana. South Alabama's had success in the past. Arkansas State, Troy, Louisiana, Monroe. So the bottom line is the Sun Belt is going to continue to be a thorn in the side of the big boys in college football. And honestly, when you're playing these schools, the blue bloods of the sport better be prepared to tighten their chin straps when they face these Sun Belt teams, because they're hungry, they're determined, and more importantly, they're coming for respect. And they're coming to disappoint a lot of people at these big stadiums that are expecting to see, their beloved team have a field day over quote unquote the little guys. The little guys are saying, that's not going to be the case. So I don't think this trend is going to stop anytime soon. The Sun Belt is a legitimate conference. They play some darn good football there. They produce some quality players as well. Obviously, they've produced quality coaches over the years, and this trend ain't going away. So if you think for a minute when you see a team coming out of the Sun Belt that's going into a big game with one of these big teams and they're a 20 to 25 point underdog, think twice because these boys bring it. They're hungry, they're determined, and they are ready to go. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.